Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Destiny video. Now in today's video, I've been meaning to do this one for a little while now, but I am finally getting around to doing it. I want to show you all my raid loot from Crota's hard mode raid. Now apologies it's taken me so long. I spent the best part of last week trying to get the tactic down, and then also this week refining it with my team so that we can run it back to back without any problems. So we kind of got that down to a T now, so we can now run it reliably, which is really good, which means going forward I should be able to farm it a hell of a lot better, and then hopefully I can also help you guys out with it very soon. But the other reason it's also good that I did this slightly later is because I have had terrible luck with my loot drops. And what I mean by that is Crota has not given me the hand cannon, the scout rifle, or even the Crux of Crota. So it's probably good that this is 2 weeks worth of loot. But anyway, let's get into it. So, if I bring up my character select screen, this is obviously the very first thing you're going to see. This is the Glowhoo shader. Now this is the shader that you get for defeating Crota on the hard mode raid. So if I jump down here really quickly and just hover over this, as you can see, this is called the Glowhoo shader. See the full preview there. So yeah, this you will get from Crota. It's a guaranteed drop, so even if you don't get anything else, you'll at least get this. So you'll at least be able to walk around the tower and say, I've defeated Crota on hard mode by wearing this shader. Now for those of you who want to recap, this was the shader you get by defeating Crota on the normal version of Crota's raid, which is the cryptographic shader. It's kind of cool, I do quite like it, but there's a little bit too much beige. So yeah, this one here is nice turquoise and dark brown, almost black. But the cool thing is that it does make certain armor pieces glow very brightly. Now this here is my AOS Cryptic Cloak. It's my favourite cloak in the game, so this is the one that I'm wearing at the moment. But if I put on the Vault of Glass cloak, you will see that it glows extremely bright. You need some sunglasses for this. This is just so crazy. But anyway, yes, there are certain items in the game that will glow incredibly bright if you wear this. One of them is one of the guys in my team. He's actually a warlock, and he actually wears the chest from the Iron Banner, and that comes out really cool because it means the entire warlock gown is really bright. It glows almost as bright as this, and then on top of that you have black wolf heads, which look really cool. So that's a really cool combination. But yeah, there are a fair few other ones. So for example, if I put on the actual cape from the raid, see, instead of glowing, it actually kind of has this subtle turquoisey colour to it, which is kind of cool. Or if I put on the Vanguard Cloak, the Red Eclipse one, also glows quite brightly. So you can see that certain armor items, it tends to be, for hunters, it tends to be the cloaks. But this is my my go-to item, so there we go. That is the Glowhoo shader. So yeah, defeat Crota on hard mode, and you're guaranteed to get this. Now the other things I got the Pulse Rifle, which is Oversoul Edicts. Now this will drop typically in the Abyss section, which is the very first section of the raid. You get through the Abyss, you get past all the Thrall, you summon the bridge, get to the next section, and typically that's where this weapon will drop. Then the Auto Rifle will drop on the bridge section, which is the second part of the raid, and then the Hand Cannon and the Scout Rifle should drop from Crota. The key word there being should, because it doesn't always. But anyway, that being said, that's where you get them from. So yeah, this is the Pulse Rifle. Deals arc damage, so at the moment I haven't leveled it up too much. I've got to do that this week, so I'll bring you guys an updated review on it once I've maxed it out. But this does arc damage, so base is 300, but it does go up to 331. You've got your usual array of sights on it. Then the first perk, Full Auto, this weapon can be fired in full auto mode, which I'll demonstrate in just a second. Then you obviously have your damage upgrade, and then on top of that you have your usual array of things like, increased ammo, balancing, stability, all the things like that. Then you have Dark Breaker. Now this is the same perk that the machine gun, the Song of Arekkz, has, and that is projectiles will overpenetrate through Hive Knight Wall of Darkness. Basically means when you're attacking some of the knights and they bring up that big black shield, you can shoot straight through it. So that's mighty handy in the raid, because there are a fair few knights out there. Then on top of that you have the Hive Disruptor. Every single raid weapon has this, increased damage to Hive Mages. So that is the Oversoul Edict, that is the Pulse Rifle. Then on top of that, and this is precisely why I put all of this into one video, because this is the extent of my loot, I then got S13 Grave-Robber. Now if you cast your mind back to the XVO Timebreaker, this was the sparrow that you got from completing the Vault of Glass. As you see, the key perk there was Overdrive, so if you hold down left and right trigger, you get a really cool boost, and if you hold it down for too long, it blows up your sparrow. Now, this is exactly the same as the one from Crota's raid. Now this is a little bit disappointing, because I've got to say that given that every single other item in Crota's raid seems to have scales on it, the weapons have got the scales on it, the ship's got scales on it, even the armor looks kind of scaly, the fact that the speeder is just a kind of camo green colour is a little bit of a letdown. Would have been kind of cool if it had scales all over the front of it, but alas, that is what it is. So this is the S13 Grave-Robber. The description reads, there are many who seek to cheat death, but so few capable of outrunning its dark embrace. It has 120 durability, exactly the same as the Vault of Glass one, and it also has the same perk, the Overdrive. So I've got that equipped, so I'll demonstrate that in just a second, but let me jump out for a sec and put on the Pulse Rifle. And as you can see, this is what it looks like. And this, if I scope in and fire with the Full Auto perk, is what it's like firing in full auto. So obviously not quite as fast as the auto rifle, but that is pretty fast fire, so that is a really good weapon for use in the raid, and also if there are ever any elemental burns on Nightfalls, for example. In fact, I used this on last week's Nightfall when there was Arc Burn, and it did pretty damn good. And then if I bring up my other item, if I bring up my sparrow, you see this is what it looks like. So if I jump off of it for a second, you see it's got this sort of camo green colour to it. Doesn't look too exciting, but I do kind of like the colour scheme anyway. So get on that, and then just like with the other one, if you hold down left trigger and right trigger together, you get this massive boost. And if you hold it down for too long, your sparrow starts to explode. Boom, like that. So that is pretty much it for my hard mode raid loot. If I jump over to my inventory, the obvious other thing that I got a fair few radiant energy and a fair few shards, so that was the other stuff that I got from Crota. But unfortunately, no Crux of Crota yet, no Word of Crota, which is the hand cannon, and no scout rifle as well. But I am going to be running the hard mode raid a couple more times this week, so hopefully I'll get lucky, and if I do, then I will bring you an updated video. And also, once I do get the Crux of Crota, again, I'll bring you an in-depth video on upgrading to Necrochasm. But if you do want to see Necrochasm in action, then make sure you go over to the channel, because I've got gameplay of that for you guys to see anyway, so make sure you don't miss it. But otherwise, that is it for this video. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and as always, if you did, then don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit that like button down below. It does really help us out, and obviously don't forget to subscribe for daily gaming videos and much more Destiny coverage. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys have completed Crota raid on hard, and if so, what have you got so far? And thank you very much for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.